What's up, brother? You know, we've been working hard for a long time, you know what I mean? And this is basically, makes me happy and to see my dad that he's able to buy himself, you know, a house with a big private gym. I know there's a lot of things that we could accomplish, and there's a lot of things that we could give back, not only to our people, but to our community, you know what I mean? We got a lot of fighters here. One of our friends painted this. He goes to the first Benavidez boxing gym, the one in Burien. He paints them all himself, so he's a talented brother. So but yeah, this is my dad's design, you know what I mean? This is actually my first time, you know, starting training camp here in this gym.
Stretch it down, pull it up. Ready, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good, under here, roll under the bed.
Gervonta Davis and David Benavidez are currently training together at the same camp while getting ready for their big return matches, which fans are eagerly waiting to see.
10 seconds! Super focused, super motivated.
You gonna feel all this shit we got to do? Look, hey Tank, we gonna go 35 for 12.
Boxing insiders are confirming a major change. Gervonta Davis has left his longtime trainer Calvin Ford and is now working with Jose Benavidez Sr. This unexpected move has everyone talking. People are now wondering what this means for Tank's drive and how his fighting style might evolve going forward.
Seems like it's official that Gervonta Davis has a new trainer named Jose Benavidez. In this video, though, because there's a lot of conversations going on about what this means for Gervonta Davis as far as his skill set, as far as like his motivation to be in boxing, and whether or not Jose Benavidez Sr. can ignite that fire in Gervonta Davis. Well, in this video, I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about a real reason for what took place in Gervonta Davis's camp. And one of the reasons that he's no longer with Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin. And I think it's an important thing to say because it's not all on Coach Calvin, it's not all on Coach Kenny, and it's not all on Gervonta Davis.
He then reveals a poisonous environment full of backstabbing. The real problem, he says, was that paid informants made their way into the fighters' close group. A shady network of greed comes to light as trusted people started giving away private camp information just to make some fast money.
I have been paying attention to that camp for a while. I know people in that camp. I know people around that camp. And I can tell you without a doubt that the major issue with Gervonta Davis and that particular camp was the fact that there's so many paid snitches in his camp. It was replete with family members and other people who, whenever they got a piece of information about Gervonta Davis, would try to go out and give that information to somebody else in exchange for money. So Gervonta is looking up at the internet, seeing what's being said about him, hearing this information coming out about himself, and saying, man, where is this?
This inner conflict had been building up for a long time. The team tried hard to fix the problem by making everyone stay completely quiet. You will see how they put a strict rule against talking to the media, all to protect the fighters' breaking mental peace.
Originally, and this was a couple years ago, I remember when Gervonta started getting upset with it and he started blocking people and getting mad about stuff, and he started telling Kenny and Calvin, you know, that basically not to be announcing things, not to say things about who he's going to fight next or what he's going to do next, because Gervonta started getting irritated about that. I also know that Calvin Ford stopped talking to the media for a long period of time. Kenny Ellis stopped talking to the media about Gervonta in that way. because they were appeasing Gervonta and Gervonta's desire to have that information kept in-house, right? So to the extent that they were having conversations that Gervonta Davis didn't want to have, they had nipped that in the bud several.
The spying went much deeper than anyone thought. Secret informants were using private information on social media to hurt his career from the inside. The speaker compares this kind of betrayal to a famous mind game strategy used in one of boxing's greatest old rivalries.
However, what happened is you have family members and other members in the gym that have connections with people that have Twitter pages, connections with people that have YouTube pages, and they continued, the people with the Twitter pages and the YouTube pages continue to pay these people money for inside information about Gervonta, and he got very distrustful. Now, if you think, okay, well, man, that's not that big a deal. You know, you go and, you know, people know, you know, it happens all the time where you have spies in camp. Like one particular incident that I know about that really enlightened me to that problem in boxing was when Andre Ward was fighting Sergey Kovalev, and Andre Ward was just being very vocal about knowing what was going on in with John David Jackson and what was going on with Sergey Kovalev. And he was telling basically, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're drinking this and you're drinking this and you're doing that, and your problem was here and your problem is there. Andre Ward knew the whole thing. How? Because he had a spy in the camp. The problem with that, with Gervonta, is when you have spies around him in his family, in the gyms in Baltimore, you have people that leak information that are trying to.
Sean Porter talks about the unexpected peace Tank might discover in this unsettled, high-energy setting. He asks if having a shared drive to win is exactly what fits with the champion's wild and unpredictable way of living.
I'm not sure if that's a great matchup.
I feel like there's some comfort there.
Is that what it is?
I feel like that's what it is. I feel like there's some.
They
comfort
both
there.
killers.
He's down in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Miami, yes.
Washington,
Yeah, he's between
Seattle, Washington, Florida, Arizona,
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah.
He be everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which might match the lifestyle of Gervonta Davis, you know.
Yeah, surprising to see it. I think, but I feel like he's comfortable with.
The conversation goes further as Porter points out the unknown factor needed to keep a fighter's inner fire alive. This new connection might just give them the perfect rhythm where trainer and fighter finally work together as one unit.
And just telling y'all what I know, sometimes that's all it takes. Whatever's gonna get this light flip up, turned on, and keep it on, sometimes it's comfort. I just need somebody I feel comfortable with, that I can be myself with, and that, you know, when I'm ready to move, they move it. When they ready to move, I'm moving. And I feel like he thinks he has that with Jose.
I don't know.
That's just right off the top of the head.
He likes to move when he wants to move.
Anthony Burns steps in to question the reasoning behind this strange partnership, bringing a feeling of doubt to the conversation. The hosts argue about whether the new trainer can really repeat his past family achievements with someone who is not related to him. That seems odd. That feels odd to me.
That's a weird one for me.
Why?
It's just only like it's paired up right. Like I feel like Jose can definitely train his son. I'm not sure about everything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We seen him train Jose and David, and then also
Pacheco and Rayo.
Jose Rayo, yeah, and Pacheco as well. You know, Pacheco isn't with them,
And they
anymore,
both are gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, they both are.
Moving to the sudden breakdown, Sean Zittel admits that the bitter conflict with Calvin Ford does not make any logical sense when you look at it. He thinks back on the unique plan Ford built into his boxers, showing his clear brilliance from the very start.
It's their business, but I just don't. I don't add up the beef with him and Calvin Ford, really. I guess Calvin may have done an interview or two that Gervonta didn't like, but it's like that
made no sense, man.
Look, I remember when I saw Truck Simpson spar before Truck tailed off, when he had promise. No offense, Truck, you know, much love to you. But when Truck was 18, 19 years old, and it was like, oh, this kid, he has talent, he has real upside. He threw his punches in the same way Gervonta Davis did. He had a lot of the same kind of rhythm that Gervonta did, and that's what made me go, Calvin is a good trainer. Even though Calvin didn't move the needle for Jahan Ingram over the weekend. Jahan Ingram lost to Devin Cushing. It didn't look like it didn't look like Calvin had a big impact on him winning, and he wound up losing to Devin Cushing. Devin Cushing, bigger guy anyways. But when I saw Truck do that, I go, okay, so Calvin has an imprint. He has a system. There's a way a guy he builds from scratch in the Baltimore amateur program looks. And so that made me lend more credence to Calvin's work.
Zittel ends by remembering a time when only Ford could pull the champion out of his lowest and most drained moments during training. This makes everyone ask how a relationship based on such deep trust could fall apart completely.
I just remember like Tank being in the gym for the Santa Cruz fight, came in heavy and was in Floyd's gym, and he didn't like that spark didn't come and Floyd was trying to get it out of him. It wasn't really happening in the first couple weeks. He had to wait to Whitewater. He had a couple months until the Santa Cruz fight date. But once Calvin came to the gym from Baltimore, he like the spark started and the light came on, and I was like, you know, that's a bond. And I don't know. I just, you know, it's like I don't know what the big beef is. Why Calvin built you from scratch. He has always went to bat for you, even when you make it very hard for someone to go to bat for you with all the shit you put you yourself and your fan base through and the boxing world through. And Calvin's always tried to say the right things to not offend you. But hey.
But, you know, while Tank has officially started this tough training camp with Jose Benavidez Sr., a strange sense of uncertainty still surrounds what comes next for him. Earlier, rumors said that a big fight with Kid Austin was fully set, but there has been no official word yet, and that silence is noticeable. Davis and Floyd Schofield are getting closer to making a fight happen. What are you hearing from your side?
And Floyd Schofield are edging a little bit closer to a fight. What are you hearing from that end?
Yeah, I'm hearing all positive. I'm hearing these negotiations have been progressing in a very positive way between the sides of Gervonta Davis and Floyd Schofield. Now, we have not seen Gervonta Davis in the ring since that disputed draw against Lamont Roach early last year. We have not seen Floyd Schofield in the ring since the stunning one-round knockout over Tevin Farmer last June. There were some plans back in April to get Floyd Schofield into the ring, but he and his father, who's also his manager, who's also his co-trainer, they said, we don't want any kind of stay busy fight. We want a world title fight, and they want that fight against Gervonta Tank Davis. Again, I am told a lot of positive progress to the point that they're discussing dates for this fight. They're discussing September, late September, or early October to match Floyd Schofield against Gervonta Davis for that WBA 135-pound title.
All right, I got one more.
Adding more heat to the situation, Gervonta Davis suddenly shook up the boxing world by sending a strong knockout message to both Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. This surprise warning pushes the tension to a whole new level, and now fans are left guessing who will actually get in the ring to face him next.
I said that this, right? And I don't hide it. I said that I think that there's 3 people in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
Yeah,
right.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me, Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them. I feel you, but check this right there. But okay, so you telling me you cracked both of them, right? But I was also told that Devin got the best of you in the last sparring session. He didn't get no best of me. He did not get no best of me.
He jumped right off the plane and sparred Devin. Right off the plane.
He didn't get no best of me.
Let me tell you something, man. You can go on the internet.
And you know I sparred him twice.
Right. And Bill
took him out the ring.
And Bill admitted that. Bill and Dan both said that.
Almost knocked him out in Floyd gym. Did they tell you that? Did they tell you
I don't know about
knocked him out in the gym? Did they tell you
I don't
that?
know, but I ain't hear that.
Oh, okay.
I ain't hear that.
Floyd Schofield Sr. responds with harsh honesty, criticizing the champion's recent media behavior as nothing more than a weak attempt to hide what he calls a cowardly escape. He says the sudden social media challenges are just a fancy trick to take people's attention away from the fact that Tank is trying to avoid his official mandatory opponent.
It's a duck. A duck is a duck.
He just needed a big diversion to make people believe to look away from him ducking his mandatory person. He ducked us before he had the Roach fight too. He ducked us over a year. So a duck is a duck. That's all I have to say. Because if Keyshawn's supposed to be fighting Devin, why he calling out Devin? If he not moving up to fight Shakur, why he calling out Shakur? And he has a mandatory, so he preferred to give up his belt. So thank you. We have no problem becoming the world champion. The boogeyman left. He ran. So that's all that shit is smoke and mirrors. They've been calling each other out for years now. All of them. Has it ever happened?
I don't think it's happening now.
So this is just a diversion so people don't look at him like, yo, you really ducked your man.
The angry speech continues as Schofield Sr. warns that this harmful focus on fame and quick cash is ruining the true spirit of boxing. He argues that by giving up the world title and leaving the division, a bad example is being set for every young amateur who is working hard to earn a real chance at success.
And that's acceptable. For the YouTubers, yeah, I get y'all. It's about money. It's about fame. Yeah, that's the Floyd Mayweather era. That's the era that's fading out. We of the era that you work your way up to number one, you fight the champion. Because that's what gives hope to these kids in the hood or these kids going through the amateurs. The hope when they get to number one in the ranking, they can have their chance at fighting for a world title. You take that away, then you destroy boxing. So, smoke and mirrors, man. The man gave up his title and hauled.
In the middle of all this chaos, Devin Haney went on social media to add even more heat by posting a series of mysterious and high-risk messages. Haney started things off with a simple, excited "let's go," before directly dropping a huge fight announcement, writing Haney versus Davis. He then followed that by quoting his own post with the word "key," which seemed to confirm his big showdown with Gervonta Davis. But even with all these big callouts and sudden fight claims from other teams, the boxing world still has no clear idea who will actually step into the ring against Gervonta Davis next. On the other side, David Benavidez turns the attention to his own large plan. He confidently says he wants to move back down and go after Dimitri Bivol, clearly stating his main goal to take over the light heavyweight division and give fans the big legacy fights they really want to see.
100%, we're going after Dimitri Bivol.
Okay, that's it.
I told you guys that's what I got. That's what I wanted to do, and just so the fans they have something to look up to. That's look forward to. That's why I give you guys my breakdowns, what I'm trying to do, what are my plans. And I told you guys I was gonna come back down and fight Bivol, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now I won 2 more titles at cruiserweight. Now it's time to capture the rest of the titles.
This sudden challenge brings a huge amount of uncertainty, making fans ask if the Mexican star will have to take a different path into a big cruiserweight fight with the champion who is calling him out. Still, there is no official word on who Benavidez will actually face next.
And I hear a lot of people talking about heavyweight, but these are big guys. This is an extremely different type of power. So I'm not thinking about heavyweight anytime soon. If I think of heavyweight, maybe that's probably by 5-6 years. But what I really wanted to do is I want to become unified champion at 175 and become a dominant champion at 175. I've been telling you guys I want to get Dimitri Bivol, then Archer Beterbiev. And I know those are 2 fights that all the world of boxing wants to see. So right now that I can make 175 comfortably, I feel like we got to make that happen first.
Definitely. That's the main fight I'm chasing. That is my goal right now. You know what I mean? And until I win that WBO and that WBA and the WBC as well, you know what I mean? That's my goal. You know what I mean? Anyone that says anything else, fine. I want to become undisputed.
The future of boxing is hanging by a thread as these top fighters make major behind-the-scenes moves. With Tank Davis completely changing his training team, Devin Haney planning his next big step on social media, and David Benavidez looking to take over his division, the sport is shifting fast. Every choice made in these camps matters a lot and could change the legacy of everyone involved. The rivalries are getting very personal, pushing mind games far beyond the ring. As these hidden pieces keep moving, fans are getting ready for what could be the most exciting time in modern boxing. One wrong step or one leaked secret could cost a champion everything, making the wait for these fights almost unbearable. Moments like these will shape the sport for the next 10 years, leaving no room for mistakes. What do you think about Tank Davis leaving his longtime coaches to work with Jose Benavidez Sr.? Do you believe this big change will actually make him perform better when he returns? Will Devin Haney's hinted fight with Gervonta Davis end up taking all the attention? Or will Benavidez successfully go after Dimitri Bivol to secure his undisputed legacy? Do you feel that the constant leaks and paid spies in modern camps are really destroying the trust and honesty in the sport? How does Jai Opetaya's sudden challenge change things for Benavidez? Should he take that risky cruiserweight fight? Who do you truly think is the real toughest fighter left in these divisions once all the noise dies down? Do you think the heavy pressure from social media and claims of avoiding opponents is forcing these fighters into matches earlier than they wanted? If Benavidez decides to skip the cruiserweight challenge, does that hurt his reputation as someone willing to fight anybody? Share your thoughts in the comments. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more videos like this one.